Do I just wait here then?
Every Rush song.
Symbols on a field of visions. Another clever play of words, I think. Play on words. Because, like field of vision, according to Jay.
Yes.
I mean, the Oxford Dictionary. The entire area that a person or animal is able to see with their eyes when their eyes are fixed in one area. So, like, you're looking at the center fielder from home plate, then this is your field of vision. But then he says symbols on a field of visions with an S. So he's not looking in one direction. He's just seeing all of these things at once. He's not, you want to say distracted. I don't want to say distracted, but he's not distracted by focus, I guess. He's not looking, he's not focused. He's not limiting his field of vision by looking in one place.
Again,
he's taking in
Shayne,
everything.
He's talking about a dream. Okay. So in a dream, you could be having a dream and your field of vision is a lava pit. Okay. But but you could see other symbols that for some reason are in this lava pit, like the Dairy Queen you just had lunch at. Maybe its sign is sticking up out of the lava pit, your boss's house. Sure. So I think that's what he's talking about there. You got your dream, you got your vision, the field of the vision of where you're at, but there's other stuff from your memory that for whatever reason it doesn't make sense for in a field of lava, again, hot molten lava, for there to be a four-way stop sign.
Yeah.
Exactly. While traveling through a hot molten lava field is going to stop at a four-way stop sign.
Exactly.
But for some reason,
I would bail traffic laws.
And if it's also a hot molten lava field, wouldn't the four-way stop sign melt? I mean, it's so close to the lava.
It's a dream, Jay.
It's a dream, Jay.
By the way, you're my dream, Jay.
I'm gonna ignore that. Just gonna
and then, like
pass right
Jay
on through that.
Said earlier, you can't focus on anything because it's always changing.
True.
Right.
Yeah. Field of vision.
Right. You're dreaming and you're being chased. Okay. And you could be getting chased down the street, and in your dream you make a turn, and next thing you know, you're in a desert sand. And you're slowing down, and your feet aren't moving, and that cottonmouth is about to wrap itself and just repeatedly bite you right there in the temple. Oh, I'm sorry.
That hurts.
But I mean, that was an example, but that actually happened.
Really?
Jim, yeah. I think you just hypnotized Jay. That was really a dream? Wait, was that meaning that really happened in a dream, or it really happened?
Wait, did you have the cottonmouth, or did the cottonmouth have you?
The cottonmouth had me. Yeah, it happened to me yesterday.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
And Tim has a lot of scary dreams. It seems like lava.
I'm telling you, that's because
water snakes.
Temporary madness, man. That is me.
Just picture like a field of lava with the cottonmouth snakes making other lines all over it.
They'd have to be wearing lava-resistant armor too, The snakes with...
Not Tim's dream snakes. They're invincible.
Not the dream snakes. No, yeah.
What's the...
There's a couple of parts. There's the line flying through hallucinations, distant voices, and after that you hear background vocals, and then later, after the line symbols on a field of visions behind the curtain, after that you hear background vocals. But pay attention to the background vocals because I have an observation, or at least it's what I think they mean.
Now, all right. I think that's about right here.
Okay, it's clearer on the remix then. But Geddy's like doing this screaming sound vocal.
This,
right. Yeah.
Like you're screaming out
from
in
a
your
nightmare.
dream. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And then he does it again later after the line, another world of dreams appears. And he does it again. It's
what do you call that part? That ba-da-do-down, da-do-down, da-do-down. I called it the awesomeness part.
I think it's the awesomeness part, yeah.
Because it's awesomeness.
Yeah.
Then what you were saying about the field of visions, anything can happen because it's a dream. It's not real, which leads us to behind the curtain of sleeping eyes. Because it's only in sleep.
Right.
And these things happen, and they're behind the curtain of your eyes, of your closed eyes, because you're only in your unconsciousness. You can't come up with these things when you're awake.
Well, unless you're a Marine and you sleep with your eyes open.
I had an uncle that used to sleep with his eyes open, and he'd sleep like this on his like this.
Yeah.
So you could or like this, and you could never tell whether he was awake or asleep. But you're sure as hell didn't wake him because he was a WW2 vet. And if you wake a man that's doing that, you will get beat up.
You will die.
You will die. Yes.
My uncle James used to sleep with one eye open, and he would hold his pillow tight. It was strange. Sorry, I won't do that again. Promise.
What song was that? I forgot.
Enter Sandman.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
With one eye open.
Holding your pillow tight. Every Metallica song.
That would be
hard.
That'd be an irksome podcast.
2025.
Now, on the instant of waking, another world of dreams appears. So the dramatic turn.
And then you've got this. You're also, that's Geddy does the he's screaming. He's had this dream, and it's messing with him, and he goes right back into the dream.
I had to listen to that.
Endless. You can really tell, like, if you're listening to it, like with headphones.
Oh yeah.
Or I just listened to it on my computer, but I could hear the vocals. They're not super loud, but they're noticeable enough to. I'm like, oh man, that's cool.
It is very cool. I mean, there's so many cool things going on in the awesomeness part. Yeah. Awesomeness. And so that kind of reminded me. That part reminds me of the movie's been out forever. So if it spoils the movie, it's on you. Wait, have y'all seen Inception?
Yes.
I've seen Inception. All right. So at the end, when the totem is spinning, this thing is still spinning.
Oh wait, Tim, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh,
do you plan on seeing it?
I'm not planning on it. Go ahead.
Oh. Okay. So then you don't know the totem is spinning. So not only does he not care, but then you don't know if he's dreaming or not. It might still be a dream.
I mean, he could be. Sorry, he could be having the dream, or
yes,
the dream is having him.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So then, is the unconscious world the real world? The dream world, or is the conscious? Which is the real world?
The morning says the answer is yes.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So what does that mean?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Shayne. I'd like to know what you think that means, and I will tell you whether you're right or wrong.
Well, Tim answered it earlier, like at the beginning of
the
episode, right?
Then I would like Tim to tell us what that means, and I will let him know whether he is right or he is wrong.
Well, since Tim has an answer, let's do his last.
Okay.
Because mine is, what does that mean? What is the question? He asks the two questions all through the song. Did I have the dream? Mm-hmm. Or did the dream have me? The answer is yes.
To both.
Does that mean both? I don't know.
I think it means yes to both. I mean, because the dream stuck with you. You had the dream, but the dream stuck with you, so it had you as well. Oh.
Oh, Tim.
Uh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so Tim agrees.
I completely agree with Jay. Yes,
Yeah.
the answer yes is the yes to both.
Now, are we unique in being okay with the answer to both being yes? It seems like, I mean, are there going to be a lot of people out there that want it to be one or the other?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
think of it this way.
Now let's listen to music. Just kidding. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
You don't dream other people's dreams. So you had the dream and the dream had you. It works both ways. It's like a
Right.
marriage.
Now you lost me.
Marriage of inconvenience.
Right.
Yes.
Are you saying that marriage is a nightmare?
No, I said
No.
dream.
No.
It doesn't matter what kind of dream. It still had you.
No.
For what sometimes seems like something that you experienced all night was probably 45 seconds in real time. That dream had you.
And it had you, and you had the dream during that time. You had the dream,
Right.
but then the entire next day, when you're still thinking about it, that it stuck with you that much.
That's right.
It had you, and that's when you're in the waking nightmare of, okay, what does this mean? Am I dreaming this, or is this really happening? What just happened here? And the living nightmare that Neil's going through with losing his wife and daughter, and so I think it's tied to that, of course, but to Tim's point, I mean, I think this song is about dreaming. It's
Now, is that all dreams or just those dreams that have that bigger impact on
No,
you?
I think it's all dreams. It's the dreams that you
Okay.
have when you're asleep. It's not the dreams when you're bored at work, sitting behind the desk going, man,
Not daydreaming.
this is a great dream. For every
Yeah.
Rush song to be the #1 podcast in space,
Or in
not
Tim's
just
backyard.
the world, but
in
space,
space. Yeah.
and boy, that's a great dream right there. No. We're talking about the nocturnal dream. Or
Okay.
unless
The
you work
nocturnal emissions
unless you
from your
work the
brain.
third shift and you
Careful.
sleep through the day.
Careful. Okay. Then I think that's an interesting question. Did I have the dream or the dream have me? Because we always say that I had a dream, but
It
it's
stuck with
probably
me.
inaccurate. The dream had you.
Yeah, I've said I've had dreams, and it's stuck with me all day. In other words, it got me. It got to me. It had me.
Did we wear that out enough? Do y'all have anything else on?
I'm pretty sure we beat that
Onwards,
horse till it's
man.
dead. In fact, I think the horse, we beat it so much, we somehow we brought it back to life. So I think we should let it live.
The
Just
horse
let
is
the
gonna
damn horse live.
It's gonna want revenge. All right. Well,
I
this-
dreamed a dream in times gone by when hope was high in life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then
Is that
I
from-
was young.
Is that from Phantom of the Opera?
That is from Les Miserables.
Oh, Les Miserables.
It's my kid's favorite musical.
Wow.
Who knew?
And I
she
didn't know justice whatsoever. Sorry.
Oh,
Well,
I think you did it justice. All right.
then y'all have to watch it this weekend. That's your homework. That's your punishment. You have to watch Les Mis.
Hell no. Mm-mm.
I'll watch it with you.
I'm gonna watch some paint dry.
I'd rather watch Chicago.
Ooh.
And I did not care for that one. No, not. Get out. And what's that song about?
It is it's about writing, well, it's about writing a song.
It's about drugs.
No.
And it's about drugs.
25 was a slang term for a heroin hit.
Really?
So he's talking about, I mean, the whole lyrics is saying, he's asking, do I do another hit or I go to work 6 to 4?
Oh, I thought he was like, I thought that was just some weird
25 or
Time
6
signature.
to 4. And I learned about that from my dearly beloved Uncle Joe, who passed away. It'll be 2 years in October, riding around in a truck with him. And he just happened to be listening. He had that song on a cassette. And I always loved that song. You know, great guitar. Da-da-da-da-da. But he looked at me. He said, "You really like this song, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, I like Chicago, and this is one of my favorites. You know, it's about taking heroin." What?
Really?
Right.
Oh, right.
And then, yeah, he explained that to me.
You want some heroin?
Well, this is one of those songs, Nocturne, not 25 or 64, where Neil does, instead of the he does the he does the tom thing, and I love that. It has some really cool bass lines on the chorus. And Tim, I like Geddy's harmonies on this song.
Well, because there are no Geddy O's, there's no Geddy do's, there's no Geddy ahs. I mean, it is the that sort of, but it's more like a, you know, it's not like no, more from the back of the throat. You know,
Why would he take the time to write
Geddy.
Now he does. Oh wow, the J, careful. He does do kind of a do thing on the instrumental break. And
does he?
Yeah.
I guess I'd have to hear that.
And where was it? There was a song where he had there's the flange on the snare. Remember that? Remember the snare?
I think I remember the flange.
All right, so
yes, the flange.
Flange. What about the flash? Okay. If you're listening to the remix has some really cool stuff going on. The original has the flange on the drums, but the remix, if you listen in, it's got the flange, and then over on the left speaker, it's got the reverse reverb thing that gives it that sound.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that in the intro?
I noticed the sound. I didn't go, that's some really interesting reverse reverb.
You don't like that?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I said I've never thought to myself, that's some really cool reverse reverb there.
Well, they never do effects like that on the drums. Rush doesn't.
That reminds me of Beastie Boys. There's a song they did with the
yeah. All right. Well, I stopped it right there because there's a really cool little bass lick there at the end of that phrase at right about 20 seconds. You ever noticed that before? That's pretty cool. Okay, and then this is the part, I think, that I call the awesomeness part at 1:14 of the song. This is on the original. And that's where you're talking about the screaming in the background, Jay.
Yeah, that's the nightmare part. Like I said, when I listened to it on the computer, I could hear it better. It was the more. It's kind of covered up for whatever reason.
It might be because I know it's there, but I can hear it in the car too, and maybe just because I love it.
Yeah.
And also, so the bass and the guitar are both doing that da 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 da, and then listen, there's a part where the bass goes down, and it almost sounds like a slide, but it's just because the bass goes down at the end of this phrase. Yeah. It's right before the dream. Dude.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, you hit that. He bottoms out a little bit there. Bottom.
And then this is on the chorus right here, this part where this is another thing where Neil goes an 8th or 16th back to the just the steady quarters on the hi-hats, and it makes it more intense. And I like the harmonies here.
Wow. I wish you would not have cut it off right there. But something I just noticed on all of those ending phrases on Neil's little drum fill, he ends it with a flam on the snare. But I didn't get to hear the last one because you stopped playing it. Wasn't sure if he did it there or not, but at least the first two he did.
I bet he did.
Onto the sidewalk and take a look. Yes.
Oh, she's beautiful.
I'm talking about a Yankee Rose. Oh, he went pop. On that last one, he did a double slam.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
And then he does something a little different here on the second verse, Tim. On Another World of Dreams appears. Yeah, that.
Well, it was a double kick rough into the snare.
Yeah. So rough, not a fill.
Right. Now I wouldn't consider that necessarily a fill.
Okay. Double kick rough.
So you didn't know what you were talking about. And I liked how he went from like where he kept the 2 and 4 on this there to, make it a little bit more intense driving. Beat. Behind the curtain of sleeping eyes, on the instant of waking, another world of dreams appears.
Now, what I like about this awesomeness part here is on the second time, I'm trying to get to the part without moving the window. There's a lot more guitar noise because you can hear all kinds of harmonics and stuff with the distortion. And this is on the remix.
Oh, did you hear that Geddy bass?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I didn't notice that before. I'm going to play. Okay. The remix again. Listen to the bass this time. There's two of them. And then, yeah, God, how fun! I would love to see him playing that. To watch him doing that.
Tim, make that call.
No. Look,
Let's call him up.
Gary.
Okay. Gary, it's Tim. Hey, this is why Geddy Lee is so incredible. He's already done through his career these masterful bass parts. Okay. And the way he just keeps churning that stuff up without being repetitive of an awesome bass part from before. And it's in a part where it's not a break off into a bass solo. It's just a part of the jam right there.
It's part of the jam.
And it's just so cool.
Agree.
And I like it's like Tom Sawyer too, where there's that theme da 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 da.
There was no such thing.
Both doing pardon?
There was no such thing as a Tom Sawyer 2.
Yeah,
they
just
only,
the first
only
one.
did one. Yeah.
Just
Tom
the
Sawyer.
one, yeah.
Also.
I think you're thinking about Huckleberry Finn.
Oh,
my bad. The book by Mark Twain. Yeah.
Yeah.
But where they both have that Tom Sawyer said da 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 that they both play, and then it has the keyboard part doing that too. But there's no keyboards on Vapor Trails. But this one on the da 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 da
right.
da da da, where they both play that. You can kind of mess around it.
Oh, and wait a second. Whatever your name was, doing that Earthshine reaction video on YouTube.
Are we back to that guy again?
Just once again, I wish Geddy would just play a regular bass part and not double what the rhythm guitar is doing.
Oh yeah,
Good
like
Lord.
Tom Sawyer, Nocturne,
Moron.
Modern day warrior.
That's right. I'm talking to you.
Man, Tim's calling people out.
Do we know the person's name?
No.
Yes. Let's just call him. Let's call
Tim?
him.
Moron. No, we already have a Tim.
No, let's call him. Let's call him
George.
No, I think what's a
and
good
I'm going
name?
to call him George, and he will be my friend.
Let's call him Kenneth. I'm talking to you, Kenneth.
Yeah, Kenneth.
Yeah.
Moron.
By the way, what's the frequency, Kenneth? Okay.
What is the frequency?
And then he goes a do 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 boom right there at the very end. I didn't notice that.
Oh, I completely forgot this. I read about this like 4 years ago.
Oh,
it was a Geddy Lee. It was a Geddy Lee interview in Guitar Magazine, and they were just talking about Geddy, some of your hardest bass licks and songs and stuff. And he was talking about things like in YYZ. That was all pretty natural to him. It wasn't really all that difficult. But then he brought up Nocturne, and it was, I've been doing this for years, coming up with different bass lines, and those screams that you hear, I did not record those vocals separately. I was playing that, trying to get it right, and just screamed out at the top of my lungs, and the open mic picked it up.
Really?
No, that was false again.
That was
I gotcha. That's a pretty damn good story.
I like that even better, though. I approve.
Oh, and I read another interview where they all went on the space shuttle and landed on the moon, and that's where they wrote Earthshine.
Listen to the vocals on the chorus on the original, because it's slightly different, and it makes for a really cool dramatic effect for the end of the song. He said here we go. The temporary madness.
Yeah.
That it does just on and you can't hear it as well on the remix.
I hear a difference.
And it's you
hear
can hear
that?
more of the higher harmonies, the screaming.
No, that harmony, that was a nice harmony. It was like a
Yeah.
multiple part harmony.
And I think on the original, they bring up the higher parts a little higher in the mix, so it sounds a little different. Because you can, they're a lot more subtle on the original. Wow, we've told you a lot about Nocturne, Tim's 9th favorite song on the album. Tell us what you think. 2112 at everyrushsong.com, on the social medias at everyrushsong. Oh, hey, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. But either way, when you subscribe, hit the little bell icon. That way you get notified about our new videos. You don't have to miss them. Yeah, do that. Tim, please help us. Help us end it.
Thank you very much. Cannon Beach, Oregon. Good night.